And we have to start to think outside of the box in terms of creating alternate energy. As we would have indicated earlier in our discussion, the capacity of fossil fuel, which is oil that is obtained from the earth, is depleting rapidly. And so the price.
And that was the Honorable Chante Codrington speaking about, I think, his alternative energy, but we'll find out more about that. He's the parliamentary representative for All Saints West constituency, and he's here with his son, Chante Codrington. And they'll be talking about a few things. One of those things, the upcoming Love Run and Love Walk. But first, we have to say congratulations to Chante on recently graduating. Yeah, oh my goodness, we want to hear all about that. But you know what, your dad, I'm sure, is anxiously waiting to get his 2 pence in. Should we go over to him?
No, let him have.
Perfect.
Well, you know, since I am in charge this morning, yes. First let me compliment both of you for looking very handsome.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Thank you.
Did you plan this, or did your dad pick you up, or whatever, you realized that you're dressed alike?
Well, no, I saw him picked out, we didn't plan it, first of all. I saw him picked out the gray suit, and I already had intentions to wear this gray suit. So great minds think alike, and that's how we ended up.
But you were wearing a white shirt and the same, the tie is identical, isn't it?
Yes,
yeah,
it
the
is.
tie was planned at the last moment, so yes.
But this is very nice. This is very encouraging for a lot of dads out there.
Yes.
Very, very nice.
And as you know, that I have always been fostering good family relations because the family is the fabric of the nation. If the family breaks down, then the whole nation, the integrity of the nation breaks down. I remember last year I came on this program and I, you know, in spite of all the doom and the gloom, I declared a positive insight over the nation. And so I will start by saying again, once again, to the nation of Antigua and Barbuda, life and death is in the power of the tongue. Proverbs 18:21, and he that loveth it will enjoy the fruits thereof. And so I just want the people to understand that my son here graduating and having the same genetic traits like me is no accident. The seed that you sow is what you certainly will reap. So I just want us to fashion our minds for 2014 that life and death is in the power of the tongue. Declare it, and it shall be done.
Well, listen to me. When you decide you're finished with the politics, there's a job for you as a pastor. You hear me? It's in your blood.
It's in my blood.
Yes, so you should consider that one as well. In your lifetime, I'm sure many people have many jobs, many careers, so I think pastoring should be one of yours. But let's talk about the alternative energy. I couldn't really hear the insert this morning to hear exactly what you were talking about, but I realized that the students, they seem very interested in what you were saying. Alternative energy, where are we going with that?
Okay, I was here to push the love one, but let me just quickly say, I inserted that clip because I simply want people to understand how I'm consistent. It is about 6 years ago that I did that interview with the children at the CV Farm Primary School because I was so fascinated. And this morning when the wind was blowing with this vivacity, my son said, "That's money for you." Now, it is so easy for us to utilize our natural resources, the sun, the wind, and in fact, the garbage that we have. I want people to know on CV Farm, presently there's a wind generator which I had set up. Shortly I'll be putting a washing machine, an ironing board so that people can come and see the practicality of wind. Simply placed there, you can have electricity, renewable energy. Now the interesting thing about that I wanted to get a bridge rectifier to ensure that I rectify the voltage coming out. But I couldn't find a mega store, and I built my own. This is what I'm going to do, to teach people that the very things that you throw away around your yard, you can utilize that to create energy. I have here simple old rejected computers. See this? These are neodymium magnets. So strong they are, can't even remove them. Can't remove them. Once you if you have these two magnets, have a cable, because this thing can pull so forcefully, I can cut my finger. So if I hold this, the force that is there, if I put a coil between here and rotate it, electricity comes out. As simple as that. These are what I am going to demonstrate to the people of this country, and in particular Alsace West, that we can do this. Think of the farmer out there that has no electricity. Think of the fish farm, where you have to have 24 hours of electricity. Now you can reduce that cost by having alternate energy right there.
But do you think we will ever get to that point?
We have to get to that point. Because one, it is so cheap, and the resources of fossil fuel is running out.
Which is where I would come in.
Okay, here's the nexus.
Yes. What I've done is registered my company here in Antigua called Wire. And Wire has 3 simple goals. 1, to reduce Antigua and Barbuda's dependence on fossil fuel by 50% in 10 years. 2, provide full educational and sports scholarships for outstanding Antiguans and Barbudans in any field of their choosing. And 3, that propel Antigua to being the #1 island in the Caribbean by helping the government reduce its debt to GDP, reducing electricity costs for farmers and just ordinary Antiguans and Barbudans, and also, well, I think I mentioned it, reducing the government's debt to GDP.
You have some very big goals there. How do you hope on fulfilling these goals?
Well, the company's already registered. I've spoken with my father about it. He has already okayed it. I've spoken with the Prime Minister, the Honorable Baldwin Spencer. He has already okayed it, and now he has put it to Cabinet. I'm supposed to be presenting a proposal within the next 2 weeks to Cabinet, and so it's something I'm looking forward to. I'm confident that it will be approved, and once it is, I will come back on your show to talk more about it in details and how I will go about setting up this company.
All right, so which one of the areas will be taken to Cabinet? The entire company with all the things, or is it the alternative energy part of it?
Because that's what the company is about, renewable energy.
Renewable energy.
Yes,
okay.
so I will take the whole thing, let them know what's in it for them, how ordinary Antiguans and Barbudans like you and I are able to reduce our cost of electricity. As of right now, Antiguans and Barbudans are charged $1.03 per kilowatt. That's the second highest rate in the Caribbean region. Dominique is the first, $1.17 EC per kilowatt an hour. Trinidad and Tobago, they have the most affordable electricity costs at 8 cent EC, merely 8 cent. And you have 8 cent, you have $1.03.
So this is what I'm trying to understand. We say we're CARICOM, and I want to believe that we have similar laws, policies, Mr. Codrington, when it comes to energy and all of this. So why are we paying $1 something and somebody else is paying 8 cents?
That is the nature.
Mind-boggling.
Yes, that's the nature of the beast. But it's something I'm confident again moving forward. One of the many people that I've talked to about this, they all say one thing, and that is, you know, who's gonna have a problem with this? Hadid. And I just tell my yes. And so I want to say that, you know, I don't have a problem. I'm confident that he and I can sit down and we can talk about how we can move this country forward as businessmen. And so there's no animosity there. In fact, he met with my father and he says, look, Chanlah, there's no bad blood between us. I understand what you're doing for your people. You're looking out for your people when you talk about black empowerment. Here's the sad thing. If Hadid, who is a Syrian, can understand what the Honorable Chante Codrington is saying about black empowerment, why is it that our own people, who the message is geared towards, can't understand it?
Because you see, you have to understand where the whole psychology started with our race. And it's been taking many years and many centuries for us to eradicate the stinking thinking that our people have. I don't know if I'll see it in my lifetime, maybe in my children's lifetime.
Life and death is in the power of the
Yes.
tongue. You will see it.
I don't know if I will see it in my lifetime.
You will see it.
I said I don't know. But you're telling me I will. So I will see. I will see what happens where that is concerned. But I think that Antigua and Barbuda, where alternative renewable energy is concerned, is the way to go. Many countries are looking into that because at the end of the day, most core countries are looking at, while we're looking at this year, next year, they don't do that. They look at 20, 40, 50, 100 years from now, what's going to happen to their country, and in terms of all the different energy resources, if it's going to dry up, etc. So they've got to do something
But
else.
what I want
they have
you
a B plan.
What I want you to do in the meantime, I want the people to do is to register for classes. By the way, I worked at the BBC.
For what classes?
For the alternate energy classes. I worked at the BBC as a senior technician, 28 years. I am certified by the INSE La Morita in Venezuela, electrical wiring and energy considerations. So the point I'm saying, you need to register at the class for the classes. The number is 722-1400. It is not just simply...
What will the class entail?
The class will entail how you derive energy from the wind generator, building your own circuits. It is not as difficult, but I remember somebody from APA said that you need expertise. You do need expertise. Once you're dealing with electricity, training and safety is paramount.
But who will be providing this training?
I will be providing that training.
And you're saying that you're qualified to do this?
Qualified after working for 28 years as a senior technician and certified from INSE La Morita.
And at the end of the training, what are you hoping that persons will take away from the training?
One of the things I want people to do is to come to CV Farm where I've built that stage. And you will see the demonstration. Even tonight, you will see the electricity that is generated from the wind generator and what it produces in terms of energy, lighting up the whole place.
Actually, let's make it an event. Set a time. What time can the people come and actually see you set the wind generator, the model up?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That is why they have to register for classes.
Well, let's make an event tonight.
Well, he wants you to give them a time as to when they can come.
Pass across there, 8 o'clock this evening.
Okay, perfect.
You see, he's not in the Caribbean way of thinking. When we say come, we mean come anytime. He wants the American thing.
Come
give us a
at 8
specific
o'clock.
time.
Come at 8 o'clock, right at in front of Hibiscus Bakery, right in the center of CV Farm, where I have the stage, the tent there, and you will see the demonstration. Because what I plan to do is to eventually put a stove, not a stove, a washing machine and an ironing board with the iron, so you can come and iron your clothes there. Just to show.
This electricity will be generated from the windmill?
That's right.
Oh, wow.
Right, so the classes,
I'd love to see that.
yeah, they are primarily for classes. I am going to have classes. I have been speaking about this 7 years. That tape that you see there with the school children is 7 years. I'm a man of my word. Once I say it, it will happen. It might take a while because I've developed it, and I intend to demonstrate to the people. Look, when you look on these children, you can't recognize them, because they finished graduate from school from what I see. Because I looking on them, I can't even recognize them. One of the youngsters there, I see him almost twice as my size in terms of how long that has been.
But here's my question, is it legal for persons to generate their own electricity?
No, because APO deals with it on one-on-one. But as I say, I am dealing with classes.
Use of teaching us to do this when we can't do it?
No, because the legislation will be put in place accordingly. APA will, and as they say, they deal with one-on-one cases. So it is not a matter that everybody just simply carte blanche come. No, you cannot do that. Let me make it absolutely clear. But what I'm doing is having classes to prepare you for the onset of this new technology.
We can say it's legal, but it's limited. Again, not anybody can actually go out there.
I think this guy is ready to take over my place.
I'm so glad he said that. My father is no. He is what, 55 years old, right? In politics
tomorrow.
Yes, 56 tomorrow. That's relatively young. He has another.
Not relative in politics. That's young.
He has another 20, 25 years left on the books. If I were to run, my goal would be to extend the Codrington name, but
But I don't want us to run out of time without speaking to what we specifically came here to talk about.
Yes, which is the love run and the love walk. But you know you're a passionate man.
Yes.
Don't apologize ever for it.
Thank you.
Because if you're speaking about something that you're passionate about, you should be allowed to speak. It's the nation's station.
Yes, I thank you.
Okay?
Yes.
So I'm glad that you brought us renewed interest in
like
renewable
and
alternative energy. I'm sure some people now will be going on their computers and will be talking and trying to figure out what you were talking about this morning. So it's good. You've started the ball, and people, I'm sure, will be talking about it. But we know you wake up every morning and you run and you walk. That's why you're so physically fit. I'm sure you can touch your toes without even murmuring.
You'll be surprised the pains that I have because I'm not getting older, you know. And it makes as you get older, it becomes more difficult. I used to run from Lightfoot to English Harbour non-stop without even breaking a sweat. Running from Halcyon to Long Bay. And I'm talking about 4 years ago. But
and now what are you doing?
After stopping about 10 times. Believe me, right? Because I do not have the time, especially with the election pending. I just don't have the time to get into the gym to get onto the track. So this is an opportunity. On the 9th of February, see, I'm giving you all a lot of times. On the 9th of February, we'll be having the Love Run, Love Walk. That will start from CV Farm, going through All Saints, through Jonas Road, and come back, just as we had it before. And I want people to mix and participate. I'm actually preparing for a distribution of 1,000 exercise books, pens and pencils.
To give out?
Yes, so I want the parents to come and bring their children. Also, cash prizes will be there. Yeah, it is inclusive of a family affair. Also, it will be cash prizes. I know the economy is tight, and this is why I give cash. Last time, one of the young guys that once said, boy, look, when I think of that 500, that's why I run so hard. And so I'm going to, the money is tight, I am going to get that money. It was a cash price of $3,000. I provided the cash and the other sponsors. I don't know who will be the sponsor this year. There are many people that is interested. And so we're moving forward, but I'm not going to let time run out on me like the last time.
Well, we need to find out how the people get involved if they need to register. But I'm hearing there's somebody on the phone and that they want to maybe ask a question. I'm not so sure.
Go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning, Priscilla.
Pleasant good morning to you. How are you doing?
I'm good. And good morning to the minister and his son. Congratulations, Mr. Minister, on the work that you're doing there with that incentive program for healthy living in Antigua and Barbuda. Commendations again.
Yes, thanks.
One of the things I know you've been passionate about over the years is healthy living, and so I think it's good that you're doing that. But I know for a fact that you're passionate as well about the road program, and I see that the government has been doing a lot of work across the country.
That's right.
So I just want to find out, what are your plans for road program for the rest of the year, maybe the first quarter and going forward in terms of road development in Antigua and Barbuda? Good morning again.
All right, thank you so much.
Well, actually, this is not the program for that. I will elucidate on that on another program because we have limited time. As he has said, there's quite a significant amount of road work that is going on across the country. We have some challenges in terms of the material acquiring, the material in terms of some of the equipment breaking down, in terms of go slow, and you know, these are challenges that we have. The scarcity of finance in terms of buying the oil. You'll be surprised to know the amount of money that we spend in oil. So I'll take that in another instance. I appreciate the call, but at the same time, I will not disappoint the people of Antigua and Barbuda with regards to the road. So as I said, sorry about that, but let's deal with what we're dealing with right now, and I can come back on another program to deal with the road program.
And you know you love to come here.
I love to come here. I love here.
So we'll welcome you to come back so we can talk about the road works and all
we have to do that.
Things that need.
Yeah, but the loved one, I want us to understand, I wanted to call 722-1400. Information will be derived later on, but specifically, you must call 722-1400. Later on in the day, you can also call, get your pen and paper, 562-6621. That's the Empowerment Center at All Saints. And by the way, my branch is in CV Farm. You just close to the same center where I'm doing the wind generation there, the wind, the alternate energy classes. the sewing class. That is particularly important because we want to start the class next week, Monday. Again, call 722-1400. We will be having competent people teaching the classes. This class has been running for the last 2 years. So I don't want people to think it's a political gimmick. I've come here many times. In fact, let me even tell you that the first person that registered for that class was from Seaton's. So all Saints West people, get on board. What we're going to do this time now, we're going to have 12-week stints. So starting from next week, Monday, 12-week stints of sewing class. We're moving to another level now where we will be making bags and souvenirs and so on so that the young people can be engaged in entrepreneurial business. What we're dealing with also is like hemming, alteration, these sort of things. So we're stepping it up a level and call 722-1400 to be part of this.
Who is Bridget a part of this?
Bridget is part of the sewing and Miss Roan is Donowa.
They are the teachers?
Bridget Richardson. No, I got it wrong again. Bridget Roberts Richardson. I want to thank these people for coming out and putting their valuable time.
You have to put Roberts Richardson in it. Bridget Queen Bee.
Roberts Richardson. No, why I say it? Because right now Bridget's father is not, and so, you know, is not keeping too well, and so she has to put in the time. When people can take off the time to make these sacrifices, we have to show appreciation, right? And so I'm really glad that I have people who can come out and teach classes and so on. There are other people who want to be part of teaching electronics. But with regards to, I'm so excited about the wind generation because it's so simple and, you know, it becomes a reality to everyday life.
So you have the wind generation classes, well, we call it the alternative energy classes,
yes.
And you also have the sewing classes, as well as all the other things.
Yes, and don't forget the Love Run, Love Walk.
And give us the
9th
numbers
of February.
To call to be a part of the Love
By the way,
Run
today is the 9th.
and the Love Walk. Today is the 9th of January.
So the 9th of February, don't get it wrong. the 9th of February, you have 1 month to get fit. I am going to get out there and get fit. So when you see me, just say, yes, I'm going to come.
But you already look fit.
Don't judge the book by the cover.
I know, because sometimes when you open the book, it's rubbish.
I tell you. Yes. So, you know, I just want to keep a nation that is healthy. Once the nation is healthy, the GDP increases. I always love to use this analysis. If you have a nation with all sick people, you know what your production rate would be? 0. Just imagine 100% of your nation is healthy. Just imagine the production rate of your country. So it is predicated on the health and the lifestyle of your country. So
excellent. And we're happy that you brought your son along. He seems to know far more than you when it comes to renewable energy. What did you study? You just came back.
Political science with a minor in international politics.
But what piqued your interest in the whole renewable energy?
Renewable energy and international politics, believe it or not, are interrelated. And also 2 more things. 1, the creator of the universe, who God bless, lets no man curse. And 2, when you have a father and a representative such as the Honorable Chanlah Codrington, there is nothing in this world that you cannot accomplish, absolutely nothing. And so, you know, it's just in the genes, politics, religion,
so he's
renewable energy.
He's grooming you to take over his...
I always say,
he's grooming you.
2 Codringtons in the lower house of parliament.
Look at me.
Yeah.
He pretend he's not. Is he grooming you to be a politician?
I wouldn't say that, but I will say this. 2 Codringtons in the lower house of parliament is not impossible. The question is it necessary? Because I look on men like the Honorable Lester Bird, the Honorable George W. Bush Jr. We can say it is because their fathers were the leaders of their country while they got a free pass into the political arena. And it is because of this free pass they do not have they did not acquire the discipline and the skills needed to control and to maintain and steer the country in the right direction and on the right track when the hard times hit. And so now one is left, you know, still trying to hold on to his legacy after his protege stabbed him in the back, and then the other one is left as is deemed as the worst U.S. president in the country's history. And that is not a club, a member that I want to be a part of, a membership. So it's just for me to...
So you're going to bow out of the political arena?
I won't say that.
So that you don't end up on that road?
Well, no, I will see to it that I acquire the skills and the discipline needed first.
Before you venture into that field?
Yes, and so right now I'm in the private sector, which is, I registered my company, Wire, and so now I'm looking to begin, within the next couple of months, creating employment for Antiguans and Barbudans.
And you do it only if you want to do it, not because the Honorable Chanlah Codrington thinks you should.
Absolutely, and that's one thing I appreciate about him. When I was in college, he never said, Chante, I want you to do this, then I want you to do this. No, he left it 100% up to me. And that has really allowed for me to thrive. And it's so funny, when I was 6 years old, I had a poem to say in the Zion Church of God. You know, I remember it as Christmas, but everybody said it was Father's Day. You know, around these events, the church poems, right. Yes. And so I had this poem to say, titled Two Fathers, and I vowed to myself I will never forget it, and it just so happens to be the quintessence of my life. And it goes like this. Two fathers. I have a heavenly father who watches over me. And then I have my daddy who loves and cares for me. And that poem has, throughout the years, just come to be an embodiment of the life that I've been living on a daily basis.
I like this. You know why? Because this is inspiration for young fathers out there to make sure they take care of their children and all of that. But it's good to have you with us. You know, I can't let your father come here, sit and be merry with the fun walk and the alternative energy and not have at least one political question. It wouldn't be the selling.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the brutal. Let me, Mr. Codrington.
Yes.
We're in what, January?
January,
and
yes.
Constitutionally, elections should come up in March, which doesn't give us a lot of time. And we're realizing that the political arena is slowly heating up, heating up.
Yes.
And we just want to know whether or not you think that you can regain your seat in the All Saints West constituency.
That is really not a question because it's so
obvious.
It is not? Yeah, it's not a question because it's so obvious. The people of All Saints West love me dearly. I have demonstrated through my hard work.
What would make you think that they love you dearly?
Well, I get the reaction and the feedback. Look, everywhere I go, I hear people say, boy, if you had 4 more people like you in Parliament. That is the cliche that says it all. Now, the argument should be, no, if you're making such a statement, if you had 4 people like me, you think they're going to take 1 out of me? No, that is not logical. And so on that basis, they will return me overwhelmingly. As I speak, my mind is even somewhere else. I'm not speaking about that. I'm thinking that here it is, that we have given scholarships to our children. He has not gotten a scholarship, so let me make that clear, right? Comes from sweat and blood with the father's production. Just a humor there. We send our children to university and to colleges. And one of the things the opposition has been saying, oh, they come back and they can't get any work. So what's the point of sending them? We send our children to use their brains and to create employment. When they're exposed to cosmopolitan nations and countries, the United States, Houston, the oil Mecca, you're telling me that he has to come back to be working under somebody? No, that's not what I send them to college for. I've sworn since I was married, one thing must happen. Every one of my children must go through a university to get the education that is greater than what I got. It must be a stepping stone. And therefore, when Chante comes and talks about his company creating employment, I want to say that the timing is right, because when we pass the Tourism and the Business Act, it is for entrepreneurs simply like him.
But how is that in relation to you winning your seat? Did the people of your constituency,
because
the young people in your constituency, they got scholarships? They were sent to school?
Let me
Yes.
answer that. I'm so glad you said that. Within the last year of my stint at University of Houston downtown, I got with the vice president of the what is it?
University.
External Relations and Academic Affairs, and I basically served as a bridge between the University of Houston downtown and the Ministry of Education. I had the university fax a letter to the Ministry of Education simply stating that the university is aware of what the government is doing and that it is there to facilitate in any way that it can, which is provide educational scholarships for Antiguans and Barbudans. The beautiful and the honorable Dr. Jackie Quinn Leandro told me 2 weeks ago personally that she has faxed a letter back to the university. So now in the near future, Antiguans and Barbudans, constituents of All Saints West, will be able to receive the same type of tertiary education as that of the children of their representatives.
Are you on your dad's political team?
Not officially, I'm still to be
You're
paid.
unofficial member.
Yes, yes. Yes.
Anybody on his team gets paid? I don't think so.
You would have to ask him, but I hope to. The way I get paid is for the people of All Saints West to vote to re-elect the Honorable Chanlah Codrington. That's my paycheck, and that is what I'm working towards.
And as your dad said, the question wasn't even a question because there's no question whether or not he will be re-elected. Does that mean you're campaigning hard, or you don't need to campaign?
No, I have to campaign. No, quite a few people have told me that they haven't seen me. You see, you have to understand, I have a different lifestyle. People might not agree with it. I do not believe during the 5 period that you must be walking around like old-time VC, eating fungi and starfish at everybody's door. You give me a job to do. I must go out, do the job, perform it. Then I return with my report card and say, these are what I've accomplished. My list is so long in terms of the accomplishment that I am well satisfied. I will document it, and when I go out to campaign, that is what I will leave at the doorstep of each constituent to show that I have been working hard. That taught me something with the scripture. When Jesus said, look, I will go and prepare a place for you. And if I go, I will return. No, people cannot expect me to be there, seeing them, and then at the same time still performing. Can't happen. It's one or the other. I have to perform so outstanding that people will say that I will return you. That is what I have done. Even the alternate energy that I'm doing there, I'm sure people must know the implication of that. And so this is where I am moving forward to ensure that I guarantee my seat. What is my opponent's track record? But I'm not going there.
Because I was just about to tell you, Chanlah,
Yes.
you must come back. And when you come back, we have to talk some politics.
Definitely.
Because I see that you were ready to passionately go on that road.
Yes.
And we would be
Not
talking
going there.
about the track records and all of that. But that's not, we have no more time left.
Yes,
in your interview for that.
722-1400. And by the way, you can call me too. I know people, you see, I'm going to give out a number.
You're one of those politicians, you answer your phone?
No, I was answering my phone, but it's
Okay.
overwhelming too. I'm going to give out my assistant's number, 722-1400. But I'm also going to give out my phone number, which is 464-0087. But guess what is happening? They're not going to call that number now. It's my number is going to be flooded. But I have no problem with that. Because what I'll do, I'll just simply give the phone to my assistant here and let him, answer the call, and I can get
Well,
back.
you see, you have to expect that government for the people, by the people.
That's
By the
right.
people means the people have a right
Yeah.
to have access to their parliamentary
Definitely.
representatives. Thank you guys so much
My pleasure.
for joining us this morning.
Oh,
It
my
was
pleasure.
a pleasure.
As
Always
usual.
come back. Always good hearing from
Yes.
you. Your father he's always so passionate when he speaks about everything. It doesn't matter. It could be two ants that he saw in the street. He's going to do it in a passionate way.
Yes.
All right. Happy New Year to both of you.
Yes,
Thank
and
you.
remember, life and death is in the power of the tongue. Proverbs 18:21.
All right, dressed alike, Siamese twins this morning. The Chandlers,
Yes.
they've joined me this morning. And that was the Honorable Chanlah Codrington, Parliamentary Representative for All Saints West constituency, and Chante Codrington. And he, of course, is Mr. Chandler's son. And you can see that in a little bit of the resemblance. And more so, the outfit. I am Rissala Marsh. This is Good Morning Antigua Barbuda. I'm smelling an aroma, and that aroma is food. It is 2014. What should we be eating? We're going to tell you that coming up on Good Morning Antigua Barbuda. Don't go anywhere.
Elite Dance Group presents a night filled with love, memories, and happiness. Dancing for Daddy, He Lives in You. Saturday, 25th January at the Multipurpose Cultural Center, 7 p.m. sharp. We have guest performances from Dust Dance Company, Passion Day Dance, JBR Dancers, and Drum and Dance Addicts. Tickets available from any member of the group at Antigua Beauty Supplies and beyond. Admission, adults, $25. Children, only $10. It's a night to remember our mentor, protector, advisor, our father, Charlesworth Sebastian. He lives in us as he lives in you. Sponsored by Ayushi Beauty Supplies and Beyond, Stonewall Reloaded, ABS TV and radio, and much more.
Miss Suchi with up on a journey. From crossroads go a halfway tree. We a look for your brother wedding call in Delhi.
The Traveling Caribbean Film Showcase, a special selection of films from the Caribbean and the diaspora.